So let's get into it. We're playing just an E minor, standard E minor chord shape. I should mention I have my capo on the 4th fret here. When I listen to the recording on Spotify, their tuning is somewhere in between the 4th and the 5th fret. I can't quite get it. I just like the way the tuning sounds on the 4th, so just keep that in mind as you reference and listen to the track. They have some micro tuning going on. They're in the middle of these 2 frets, I think. So really, just whatever you're singing, your vocal register works. You can put the capo on that fret, but I'm playing on the 4th. So we have our E minor, da 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 da, G major, da da. And this G major, we're playing a full G major. So we have our 3rd finger here on the G, our 2nd finger on this B, and we have our pinky on the D note, which is on the B string. Not on this G on the high E, but on the D, on the B string. Da da, D major, da 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 da. So all I'm doing there with my D major, I'm playing this D major in this way because, like, usually you can play your D major with a bar. But we're going to be lifting up we're going to be doing some movement with the melody on this high E string. So I want to play my D major chord with my 1st finger on A, my 3rd finger on D, and my 2nd finger on F sharp. This allows me to put my pinky down on this G, because we're going to go. All right? So the way I would practice that is I would just practice the melody notes. And again, I'll have that in the tabs. We're just going, so that's your pinky, pinky, middle finger, middle, 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 pinky, middle, open, middle, E minor. Back to our E minor. Okay, so we just started laying in some melody. Let's cover some more melody. We're going to use the first intro. It's Gran Espiritu, Gran Espiritu, Gran Abuela, Gran Abuela. So our Gran Espiritu, we're going to be in our regular E minor chord, and we're going to use our pinky. We're going to play this open B string, then pinky down on D. Dun, dun. That's how we start the song. So that melody, I'm just going dun, 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 dun. That's really all I'm going for. Dun, 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 dun. But what we're doing there, so I'm starting with my thumb, my middle, and my ring finger, and I'm playing my middle and my ring finger are always going to be middle finger on 2nd string, ring finger on 1st string. 1st finger is always going to be playing this G string. And they're typically going to be alternating like this, where my middle and my ring finger are playing at the same time, and my index finger is playing the G, alternating. It's like my runners, but when I play my middle finger, my ring finger is coming along for the ride. But what I'm actually doing, so I'm playing them twice. 1, 2, I, M, A, M, A, I, M, A, M, A, I. And as that is happening, my thumb is just alternating between these 3 strings. I'm going to start with my 6th string, then I'm going to go to my 4th string, then I'm going to go to my 5th string. So I'm going. So when we transition from our E minor chord to our G major chord, we're going to take our right hand fingers and we're going to take our I, M, A, which were on the third string, second string, and first string, and we're going to shift them all down one string. So now your I, your index finger, is on the fourth string, your M is on the third string, and your A is on the second string. Now when we're in our G chord, we're going to start the pattern the same way, thumb, M, A. Then we're going to go back to our index, alternate. So thumb, M, A, index, and now we're going to lift up our pinky with our left hand and play M, A again. So just practice that first. And then with our thumb, we go fifth string, index, fourth string, middle, third string. So P, M, A, I, lift up your pinky, play M, A, and then P, I, M. So let me go from the E minor. Right? And just play that slowly, isolate those two chords. I played it a little bit differently there. You'll find I play things differently all the time. But as you're just starting to learn these finger picking patterns and getting them down, I encourage you to stick with the pattern. And then as you get more comfortable, you can kind of substitute in different notes. But let's one more time. We're going to move into our D chord, and this is a tricky transition. So from our G chord, and we're going to stop, we're going to go P, I, and we're not going to play that M, this G, right? We would usually be playing, instead we're going to play the higher octave G, which is here with your pinky. These are the same notes, your open third string, and this G. So rather than going, we're going to go place our pinky down and play our M there. So let me just play the full G. So this is a tricky transition. Let's slow this down and really emphasize and break this into a small digestible chunk. So we're going... And it's getting, there's two tricky moves here for me. It's going, it's getting my pinky down on this high G, and then it's shifting to my D chord while I'm holding that pinky down, getting my first and second fingers in place, and then releasing my fourth finger at the last possible second when I put my third finger down. Right? So I'm going... So I would just practice that. And I would start with my full G chord. Right? And the trick here is we want this high G note to sustain as long as possible, which means we want it to play out and ring out as long as possible. We don't want it to go, we don't want to go lift it up, lose the note, and then try to find this D chord. Right? Let me just play it in sequence so you can hear what that would sound like. It would be, since I played it fast, it kind of worked. But if I play it even more slowly, we want it to go. We want it to ring out And we don't want to lift that note up until the last possible second. So that's your goal when you're practicing these transitions. Keep your pinky down to the last possible second, and then you lift it up. But you don't lift it up like crazy because we're going to put it back down as we play this D. So one more time, this transition. So as we get into our D major chord, really, we're just playing, we're keeping our right hand fingers, our ring finger, our third finger is on the first string, second finger, middle finger is on the second string, and our first finger is on the third string. And our thumb is just going to play this fourth string. So, leading into it with your pinky, lift it up. I'm going to play thumb and ring finger at the same time, index, then M and A. So starting with our ring finger on this G note, lift it up. Just going to play that same pattern over and over as we're lifting up our fingers and controlling the melody with our left hand. So with the right hand, it's that's the pattern. M and A, I, oops, P and A, I, M, A. P, A, I, M, A. P, A, I, M, A. P-A-I-M-A. And as we're going through that pattern, we're just lifting up our pinky and our middle finger here, but we're keeping our first and third fingers down. So, pinky, middle finger, open, middle finger, back to our E minor chord. And I like for this E minor chord, I kind of like this bouncy right hand finger picking pattern. So I'm going, we're keeping our A, our ring finger, on the first string. So we're keeping all of our three fingers on the higher strings, third string, second string, first string. And I'm going to go. So M, or P, M, A, I, M, P, I, M. And as what's important here is as we do our first I, M, so we go P, M, A, I, M, that's sticking with our respective first three high strings, third string for I, second string for M. Now we're going to shift them down and pluck our thumb, P, I, M. So just practice that. I, M, P, I, M. I, M, shift down, P, I, M. I, M, P, I, M. When I shift, I'm not shifting my fingers, but you'll see I'm kind of hinging my arm. It starts here, and my whole wrist and forearm shift up ever so slightly, and shift down ever so slightly. Just like that. So your hand position is actually staying in place. Nothing moves there. You're just hinging from your forearm here. I can actually feel the skin kind of twisting on my guitar because that's where it's moving. Right here. And I think we'll wrap up the lesson here. As I mentioned before, I'm going to have tabs for this written out, linked on my Patreon, which I will put the link down below. So definitely check me out on Patreon there. I'll have these tabs for you to follow along with the lesson. It's going to spell out exactly which fingers with your right hand to be using. And I have other video lessons with other tabs and sheet music for those lessons there as well. Just want to thank you guys for watching this. My name is Devin. Again, this is Spiritual Guitar. And this is Bruno Mansur. Corazón es lo único que tengo.